As you can see on the screen, we have electronic accounting using Sage 50 or PeachTree accounting. General overview. Now look at the course outline. We'll be looking at introduction, e-accounting and accounting softwares, PeachTree or Sage 50 accounting, web-based accounting, then I will conclude. Before I bring in the resource person, a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants United States, to come and take the practical session. We are in a world of information and communication technology where virtually most activities are no longer done manually, instead electronically. As a matter of fact, the era we are into is an era that has been described as era of digital Darwinism. The enormous advantages ICT has accrued to the delivery of information and communication around the world, as well as central role of ICT in the new global economy, means ICT is shaping and will shape the dynamics of the new millennium. Today we talk about all manners of e-commerce, e-governance, e-accounting, e-research, and so on. Bill Gates said in his book, I'm just summarizing now, titled Business at the Speed of Thought. So look at the poverty of nations. Behind it is lack of information. And he concluded by saying, only organizations, professionals, and individuals who are prepared for a paperless environment will stand the test of time. So this is year 2020. As at date, over 7 billion people exist on Earth. ICT by biometrics security solution has proven it that there is no two persons anywhere in the world that are the same. And I say one of my own reasons why you can never find anyone exactly like you anywhere in the world is this: God is not a duplicator, He is a creator. He has created everyone unique. The information technology is a fast developing one that keeps changing every now and then. It has touched every profession, thus changing our way of doing things in an organization and society as a whole. Of particular importance is the electronic accounting aspect, which has brought about speedy, timely, and efficient information processing, which is very significant for day-to-day accounting and reporting, as well as decision making. As a matter of fact, with the ongoing revolution in accounting, finance, and generally in various disciplines in the world, to the accountants, we say you can only become relevant with IT. And I concluded here by saying becoming an accountant on a technology platform is a sure way for accountants to secure their careers in the digital age. E-accounting and accounting softwares. Electronic accounting simply means using electronic processing computer-based systems to do what? Acquire financial data, process, store, plan and forecast, coordinate and cost control, disseminate all manner of information, textual, pictorial, and numerical information for timely decision making. Presently, the following accounting softwares are available in Nigeria to solve accounting and financial problems. We have PeachTree, otherwise known as Sage 50 accounting. We have QuickBooks, we have Dark Easy for Windows, we have MS Money, SpecPay, Eagle Tracks for inventory management, MyOb accounting, Sage's accounting software, Budgetmatic software for budgeting and budgetary control, Sun System software, Tally accounting. The question I will ask here, do I need to know all these accounting software as an accountant or somebody who is undergoing a certification course in electronic accounting? The answer is no. Once you know one of them very well, they operate in similar fashion. The basic thing when you are using any accounting software is for you to create the company. It is only a company that is existing that you can talk of posting any transaction. You create the company, you create the chart of account. Of course, the chart of account will go with codes. Then you begin to post your transactions. Benefits of using e-accounting in an organization. So the benefits include, they are not limited to this. One, you get quicker information on financial position of the organization by just pressing or touching a button. One of the demonstrations I made in a university where I visit as a professor, it was too simple to be true. How do you say a post transaction and you just press a button and you already have your financial statement prepared? And I asked the student, anybody who could question. One student raised up his hand and said, sir, I have a question. He said, if accounting is this simplified, why are they punishing us? That's what technology does, to simplify all this accounting tasks for us. Ascertain with accuracy the revenue generated in an organization on daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, within a second. Provide detailed expenditure information to aid the management in cost control and facilitate decision making. Budget and forecast. Reduce clerical and administrative overheads. Project monitoring and variance analysis. Prevent frauds. Then get timely report and financial statement after every transaction. This is part of what electronic accounting can do. Sage 50. Why are we picking Sage 50 as the particular software for this certification course? Here are some of the features of Sage 50, otherwise known as PeachTree. Before I go into the features that have compelled us or has propelled us to choose the software, here are the types of Sage 50 flavors we have. We have PeachTree Pro, PeachTree Complete, PeachTree Premium, and PeachTree Quantum. And if I say Sage has acquired PeachTree, that means if I say PeachTree Pro, it means Sage Pro. The Pro, the Complete, one user. It means if you install this for an organization, one user at a time. But for the Premium, 5 users. Then Quantum, 7 and more users, multiple users. So most organizations prefer PeachTree Accounting or Sage. I'll be using them interchangeably to any other accounting as a result of its cost effectiveness, comprehensiveness, reliability, flexibility, portability, storage capability, timing, peripherals, then documentation. In fact, with Sage 50, there is no problem of backup worry. You have backup. One of the other features is that there is audit trail. The path a transaction follows from inception to completion. You get all this from Sage 50. Very possible. There has been argument in the time past. Someone says Sage 50 is not compliant with IFRS or HIPSAS. It is. Now there is a feature in this Sage 50 called design. With that design, you can redesign your financial template according to IFRS, according to HIPSAS. You do that design first. That's what we call financial modeling. Sage 50 has that feature. When you design your financial template in accordance to either IFRS or HIPSAS, then you go create the company, post your transactions, then go and view your final report. It means with the use of Sage 50, you can have your financial statement shown to you under GAAP. You can also have them shown to you under IFRS or HIPSAS. Sage has all these features. Basic steps in using PeachTree accounting. I've mentioned this earlier. Set up a new company. That is the first step. Our resource person, Mrs. Abosede Famuyiwa, that will be coming up to take the practical session, we apply this step practically so that those taking this certification course will follow step by step, and anywhere you just apply this step, you get the same result. So the first step is to set up a new company. And to set up the new company, you have seen the following tips and procedure there. Then working with chart of accounts. All you just need to do there is to set up a new chart of account. Click on maintain menu. We have 3 key important menus in Sage 50. We have the file first, then the maintain menu, the tax menu. Then you can pick the other one, report and forms, making 4. That's where you now view your report. Web-based accounting. When you say web-based accounting package, is a complete accounting system that resides on the web server. In fact, this is another way to say when you say web-based accounting. With web-based, you don't need to own a laptop. Once you go online, you get the Sage software you can download. They allow you access for a month, trial version. Thereafter, they ask you to make some payment. That's the summary of this web-based accounting. Benefits of web-based accounting: say you only need a browser, lower upfront cost for software, lower upfront cost for hardware, lower administration cost, shorter implementation time frame, lower cost for multiple locations, work from home, not only home, work from anywhere once you have internet access, high-end databases, no more backup worries, then up-to-date application code. Categories of web-based accounting. Web-based accounting is of two major categories. We have the entry level for small businesses. Now for these small businesses, you want to go web now. We have talk of merchant mirror accounting, zero online accounting, liberty accounting, cash box accounting, SASU accounting, crutch accounting. We have Nona Pro accounting, Arithmo accounting, all on the web. Then we have the enterprise resource planning softwares. So this software is also referred to as cloud computing, cloud accounting. I think one of our international conferences, we invited one of these resource person who teach on this ERP. In fact, the name they give to this guy, they call him cloud evangelist. So vast in the use of this ERP software. And with the ERP software, he practically demonstrated how do you imagine you post transactions and you now begin to view different financial reports. This is the way it will appear if it's in Nigeria. If the same financial report is prepared in the United States, this is how it will appear. If it is prepared in UK, this is how it will appear. The one important thing about ERP is that it does more than just accounting services. There's warehouse, there is function, and many other things. You can use the examples of these softwares include NetSuite, Acumatica, then Navision. Key requirements in using web-based accounting: we have connectivity to the internet, awareness of the website address you are accessing, payment of subscription, existence of a valid email account, registration online. In conclusion, because certification anyway, theory is the basis for practice. I'm just laying the theoretical foundation for us to now have next the practical field of the application of SAGE. In conclusion and final charge, so the world is undergoing a revolution in information and communication technology, which is rightly referred to as digital revolution. The ongoing revolution in the area of information and communication technology we continuously present huge opportunities to internationally recognized scholars and professionals. The losers will be nations, professionals, and scholars who face to meet the challenges of ICT. So being current is the currency of life. So you cannot be current until you are current. There is no better time for you and me to lay hand on relevant information relating to our profession than this era of digital revolution. So the poorest man on earth is not the man who lacks money in his pocket or account, but the man who places no value on time. Time is money. Let me just skip this one so that we go into the practical session. I am not teaching time management now. As professionals, say if you know you are worth more than what they pay you, because if you work 8 hours, for example, in a day, it means you work 40 hours in a week. You work 2,000 hours in a year. If you are on a salary of 1 million naira per annum, divide 1 million naira by 2,000 hours. It will give you an idea of what you are worth per hour. And as a professional, if you feel you are worth more than that, it is time you begin to tap those sleeping giants as latent potent inside of you, so that you can maximize them. Say readers are leaders. It is your ability to know ahead, see ahead, and go ahead that make you the head, a leader with a difference. Say get copies of the materials on electronic finance and accounting. Attend the various training programs put together by the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, both locally and internationally. And as you do this, what other professionals are running after will be running after you. I want to share this testimony with some of us. Some few years back, I was in the United States coordinating the international conference for the Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants. I think last year precisely. And while there, a call came from Canada. I've not been to Canada anyway. And the other guy from the other hand said, "Is that Professor Adeba?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "We have heard of what you are doing for this association. We want you to come over to Canada, come and organize the same thing." And by the grace of God, Anand is planning to be in Canada this 2020. We pray and we are very, very hopeful that in just a couple of weeks from now, we will be sharing testimony of how God has helped us defeat the monster ravaging the world called coronavirus. Coronavirus is going back to where it came from. Thank you for your attention. If you need further inquiry, that is me. My website is there also. And the website, you also access some accounting materials, some videos are there. Thank you.
Hello, I welcome you to this class on Sage 50 or PeachTree accounting, as you decide to call it. My name is Abosede Famuyiwa. I'm a fellow chartered certified system accountant. I'll be taking you through the rudiments of Sage 50. In the earlier class taken by Prof, he has given you the advantages of the use of Sage 50. So I'll be taking the practical session. Now it's important to know that it's not only accountants that can make use of Sage 50. Other sections or other departments of an organization can also make use of Sage 50. So I would like you to launch the software on your system. And after launching, you'd have this interface. Okay. You see where you are asked to either open an existing company or create a new company. But before we create a new company, I want you to click on Explore a Sample Company, Other Task. Explore a Sample Company, Other Task. By the time you do that, you see a dummy company being called up. Now, the software has been prepared in such a way that before you start creating your own company or doing your own case studies, as the case may be, there are dummy samples that can guide you through or put you through how you can work on, the Sage 50. And it's important to know that the software is very user-friendly and it helps you to navigate your way so easily. So let's click on Explore a Sample Company. Okay, we have a list of 6 companies. You can choose on any one. So we choose on the first one for Bellwether Garden Supply. Bellwether Garden Supply is a retail and service company that demonstrates PeachTree's inventory and job tracking capacities. So we select Bellwether Garden Supply, click OK. You can see that it's calling up the software and the activities of Bellwether Garden Supply. Close this interface, click OK. All right. So here we have File. Under File, you have the options to open company, open a previous company, opening company as, new company, close company, setup guide, print preview. All these items here can be used to either open a new company or work on existing company. Then the next icon we have Edit. Edit, in case you want to find transactions or any transaction that has taken place in the course of the year, you can find them here. Then we have Lists. The essence of List is to show us the customers, the vendors, the employees, the chart of accounts, the general journal entries, inventory and services, jobs, time, workflow notifications. So let's click on Customers and Sales. Customers and Sales, then click on Customers. Now, you can see the list of all the customers that transact business with Bellwether Garden Supply. All the customers, you see their customer ID, the customer name, the contact, the telephone, the type, and the balance they have left. This is the list of all the customers that transact business with Bellwether Garden Supply. So if you want to see the full details of each of them, you double click. So let's see the full details of Aldred. You can see it's giving us the ID, the name, the address, the general information about Aldred Builders, the contacts, the addresses, the history. We can see from here that Aldred Builders made some businesses with Bellwether Garden Supply on the 31st of March 2010 and also on the 28th of February 2010. So you can always navigate through this to see more information about Aldred. So let's close that. That's all about Aldred, and if you want to view the information about all the other customers of Bellwether Garden, you can just click on any of them and it will give you the full details. Okay. Now, if you want to view the sales invoice still as related to Aldred, you click on it, it calls it up. So you see that Sage 50 helps us to have a comprehensive, information or details about all the customers that transact business with Bellwether Garden Supply, being used as our case study now. So you see that on the 4th of March 2010, there was a Bellwether company placed order for 2 quantity of land. The description is there, the unit price. So in the course of working with Sage 50, you can also, provide and produce your own list of customers. You can also do that. So there's a whole lot that can be done with Sage 50. Now this interface is for the purpose of producing sales or invoices, sales invoices or sales orders. So let's close that. You can also view all customers, view all payments received, view items, item sales by customer. Then to generate reports as well, you see the report for customer transaction history, customer ledgers, items sold. So a whole lot we can do as regards customers in case you are dealing with a sales company. Okay, so we go back to lists, still on customers. You see the contacts, code, proposals, sales orders, sales invoices, receipts, deposits, credit memos, sales taxes, sales tax agencies. So next we go to vendors. Who are vendors? Our vendors can also be called our suppliers, people that we purchase items from. So we click on this and it also gives us the list of all our vendors. You see, we have a list of all the vendors. Let's click on Daniel Loan. It gives us all the information we need to know about our vendor. Daniel is a supplier. That's the general information, the addresses of Daniel, the history. It shows us that on the 31st of March 2010, we purchased items worth $410. This software is domiciled in dollars, 50 cents, and we made payment of $335.50. So if there were other transactions with Daniel Loan Pro Incorporated, you would have seen in the list. So it helps us to have a view of the list of all our vendors or suppliers, as the case may be. And also at the other side of the interface, you see view purchases, view purchase orders, view payments, view vendor credit memos. If you want to email your vendor, perhaps you can't go to their office physically, you want to send an email, but note that for you to be able to send email, your system must be connected to internet facility, so that you can send your email to the vendor. You send whatever list of items that you want the supplier to bring down to your office. You can create payments, create purchase order, and so on. So that's for the list of vendors. Employee payroll. You see that Sage 50 can also work for the HR department. Like I mentioned earlier, Sage 50 is not only for the use of accountants only, but other departments in the organization, the marketing, the sales department, store, HR can also make use of Sage 50. Now let's click on the list for employees. Employees in Bellwether Garden Supply. You see, we have a list of all the employees in Bellwether Garden Supply. In case you want to actually create a new one, you can click on new. Probably we have a new intake, or the organization just had a recruitment exercise bringing in other new employees. You click on new so that you'll be able to impute the details of all the employees. You see employee ID, the name, first name, last name, their addresses, and all vital information you need about them. You can close that. You see the list. You can view their paychecks, view all time tickets, view all expense tickets. So let's see the information on Tridel. The information on Tridel. Okay, we have his name, full name, Tyler Riddell. So that means his name is T. Riddell. Tyler F. Riddell. Tyler F. Riddell. We have Riddell's email address, phone number, spouse. He has a spouse whose name is Melissa. His birthday. It's important for organizations to have the birthday dates of their staff as well, so that on such days they can reach out to them. So all the information needed as regards this staff are fully loaded here. Additional information, you see the name of his wife, the wife's phone number, he's married, his marital status, his gender, his ethnic origin, and so on. Pay info, is he being paid regularly, is overtime pay, is entitled to overtime, special rates, and all the information needed as regards his pay are also included. Withholding info, you see, is he paying tax to the federal level, to the states, to the local government? Is he required for him to pay tax at any point in time? We can see also information as regards his vacation. He's entitled to 80 vacation hours per year. So you see that for vacation, he's entitled to 80 vacation hours, and if he has taken any of such hours during the year, it should be noted here. Now, the maximum number of vacation hours this employee can have at any time is. So in case you want to change this from 80 to any other vacation hour, it will be included. Then sick time, has he taken some hours off as sick leave? The information is also given. Employee fields, giving us a breakdown of his income and all the other things that is entitled to: Social Security, welfare, Medicare, and all other allowances is meant to benefit. I will see that on the part of the company field as well. So it gives us the full details of the employees. So the list option gives us a breakdown of our customers, vendors, employees, chart of accounts, general entry. You can see for inventory as well. You want to have a view of the items that we have in the store. You also click that. So next, let's go to maintain. Let's go to maintain. The list option we checked earlier is just to give us a list. But for the maintain, you want to add customers, new customers. You see, it gives us the option to add new customers, where you have the opportunity to give them a separate code, different from the codes that have earlier been used for other customers that we've had before. The name of the customer, the account number, billing address, and all necessary information as regards the customer. Okay, so we still go back to maintain. You want to create new vendors. We have new suppliers. Perhaps we've discovered a supplier that can, give us products at a rate cheaper than previous suppliers. You include all the necessary information for suppliers. Also, to create employees or sales reps, to create more information about more employees or sales reps. Here you see that some companies have employees on full-time basis, on part-time basis. Some have some employees just functioning for them as sales reps, meaning that they will only be paid based on discounts or the volume of sales that they make. Or perhaps that particular employee is functioning as both is functioning as a full-time employee at the same time as sales rep. So this interface helps us to choose which category the employee falls into. If the employee is inactive, probably is on leave and is leave without pay, or the employee has retired or resigned, you click on inactive to show us that at that particular point in time, the employee is not active. So we have fields for other necessary information as pertaining to the particular employee. Okay, so we need to move at a fast pace. We still go to maintain. Payroll, we checked that earlier. Okay, let's check on payroll settings. Now the payroll settings helps us to customize the payroll as it relates to the organization. Now we know that every organization has different profiles or different settings as it regards to payroll. So there are options on the left navigation area that helps you to impute necessary information as it relates to the organization. Payroll options, company information, the necessary benefits that you want to accrue to the employees as it relates to vacation, sick time, insurance plans, retirement plans, GL accounts for each employee, GL accounts for the company, summary of all the benefits, the taxes to be deducted from the employees' salaries, and so on. So we see that the Sage 50 is a complete package. Like I said, every department of an organization can make use of it. So once the setup is done, you click on finish, and we continue. So still on maintain, and we still go to payroll. Now let's check lastly for payroll benefit for an employee. Now we see in our parlance that like I mentioned earlier, that every organization has different benefits that they have accruing to each employee. So vacation, apart from vacation and field times, we mentioned this earlier, probably you want to increase the vacation hours or the hours given out as sick time for the year, you can also increase it. Okay, so and to work on current formulas as it relates to each employee, you click on this particular field. All right. Okay, for chart of accounts. Now when we say chart of accounts, it implies that the company has different sets of unique codes that have been assigned to each item of transaction, be it income, expenditure, assets, or liabilities. So the chart of accounts helps to create specific codes or unique codes for each transaction. You'll see this in the course of our working on the case study, how we can create or generate codes for each item of transaction. So that is for chart of accounts. So to create anything as per customers, vendors, employees, payroll, the chart of accounts, or the company also wants to prepare its budget for the year, you use the function maintain. You use the function maintain. Now to create budget name, is it a full budget or revised budget? Or if you want to create a new one, you have the opportunity to do so, and you also give it a description. And you can see that all the items in the budget have their specific codes and the description given to each of them. Okay, so for maintain, we see the breakdown of all that we can do with it: inventory items, item prices, quantity discounts. Perhaps you want to give out discounts to all the customers, so you allocate the quantity discount to be given to each of the customers, the unit measures, job cost, fixed assets. You want to edit the company information, probably in the course of the year, the company changes location. You have the opportunity to come have the name, and you can change the address of the company. So like I said earlier, we are working with a Bellwether Garden Supply. This is a dummy company that has been created on the software to help us view different information and other details as related to Sage 50. Okay. Okay, so that's about the maintain function. Now we go to the task function. Task function. Now, what do we do with task function? Like the name implies, task. It helps us to work out, some things, like we want to place a code or sales order. So let's view one sales order for one of the customers in Bellwether Garden Supply. Let's click on Armstrong. You see, so we want to make a sales order. Armstrong is one of our customers and is placing a sales order. You see that the address where the order will be shipped to, Armstrong Landscaping, we have the address, the date the order is being placed, the quantity the customer desires, the quantity, let's say 2, the item, let's say table, for instance. Okay, now you see that we have a list of all the items that our company, Bellwether Garden, supplies. So let's say bed bath plastic. There's a breakdown. There are 2 types. We have the one that is 2 feet high. We have the one that is 4 feet high. So let's select 4 feet high. Okay, then you click OK. Okay. Okay. Then you see that the unit price has come up automatically. So we are saying that for this particular item, the unit price is $44.99. The 1, 2, that's the quantity. This is the item, the description, tax 1. So since they are buying 2, you see that automatically it has multiplied the unit price by the quantity the customer wants. And if you come down, you see that the customer still has some balance with us and has a credit limit of 50,000. That means this customer enjoys some credit facilities with the company. That means they can buy and pay later. So they have a credit limit of $50,000 and then they still have a balance of $32,080. So that means this can still accommodate the amount of the current order. So that's how to place the order. You can just save once that order has been placed against that. So that's that about sales order. Then to perform other tasks, sales invoicing, select for progress billing, shipments, to track a package, to issue receipts. Issue receipts, which of these customers, let's still go back to Armstrong. You see, it's showing us the details of all the transactions. Now, if we want to issue receipts, you put the reference number, the receipt number, the regular checking account. Is it a cash account or regular checking account? We want to prepare the receipts and record it in our petty cash or the payroll checking account. You see, so all the information that is necessary to be filled in is there. So you apply all this to the invoices and at the end of the day, the receipts will be produced. You can print your receipts, you can email the receipts and email it and send to the customer, who in this case is Armstrong Landscaping. So the transaction edited has been changed. You want to save it? No. But if you want to save at your end, you can do so. Alright, so still for task. But most importantly, as we will see in the course of the case study, for us as accountants, very much important to us is how to prepare our general journal entry. You see, to prepare general journal entry, you go to task, click on general journal entry. You have the date you want to prepare, and in the course of the case study, you see the items, list of transactions that were carried out in the course of the year. So during the session on case study, we have a question that we'll be working with to see how we can prepare and post entries into our general journal. Okay. So useful to us as well is analysis, cash flow. Now the analysis for us helps us to, have a breakdown, ratio analysis for each item. Let's click on cash flow manager. Cash flow manager. Now the essence of the analysis is to help us compare. It helps us to compare. See, in the next 14 days, what are we expecting? Starting balance, petty cash, cash on hand, regular checking account. It helps to analyze, the accounts of the company to know the volume of inflows and outflows. That's for the cash flow manager. You have for the collection manager, the payment manager, the financial manager. You see, for financial manager, it gives us analysis for operational analysis, the cost of sales as compared to gross profit and net income. We see our profitability, the working capital, the resource capital. The formula that we need for each of the analysis is automatically supplied, by the software. So it makes our work as accountants very much easy. So that's for the financial manager. You see key balances. It has the key balance. We have the cash, giving us the balance for our accounts receivable, balance for inventory, balance for accounts payable, balance for total assets, total liabilities. As in the case of Bellwether Garden Supplies, that's the company we are using, for the example. Okay, you see the current period, the income, cost of sales, expense is giving us a full analysis of all our key balances. All right, another very important function that we need to know is the reports and forms. Reports and forms. Now, as accountants at the end of the year or per quarter or half yearly, we are expected to produce reports. Click on reports and forms. Select financial statements. Select financial statements. Now you see a breakdown of all financial statements you will never ever need as an accountant. You have your balance sheet compared with budget, your cash flow, your GL account summary, your income statement for 12 years, income statement for 12 period, income statement for 2 years, your income statement for the period, income statement compared with your budget, year to date, income statement compared with your earnings, retained earnings or statement changes. So whichever one it is that you want to generate, you want to view, you click on it. But for the essence of this case study, let's click on income statements. This will show us our income statement for the current period and year to date. Click on income statements. Now it will bring up an option to select your time frame. Are you calling up the income statement, the range of the dates, the current period or current 3 periods? We'll select for the current period, which will show us from the beginning of the month of March to the end, and it will bring up all the transactions we've posted during the period. Click on OK. All right, so we have our income statement that's been generated here. We have our income statement that's been generated. So you can view your income statement, but as it is, you cannot do any form of modification here. This is for you to generate your income statement and view. We've generated our income statement. The next is to view our balance sheet. Generate your balance sheet. You double click. Also for the current period, you click OK. We have our balance sheet. And you can see that the items or the transactions we posted earlier, our bank, our office equipment, are correctly posted in the balance sheet. So if earlier you had made mistake of posting an income statement as cash or as an asset, you see it showing in your balance sheet. So that's why I mentioned earlier that it is important that your account type must be carefully selected so that while generating your financial statements, all the transactions would have been posted into the correct legs of accounts. All right, so we viewed. If you want to save, you can save. But for this lesson, we are not saving. You close this statement. Now, next thing is for us to export the income statement to Excel. Now, the beauty of Sage 50 is that any of your statements can be imported or exported to Excel. In case you want to view on Excel sheets or you want to make 1 or 2 corrections, you can view, or you want to send it via email using the Microsoft Excel, you can convert your financial statements from Sage 50 to Excel. So we go back to income statement, click on current period. Now you come to the top part of the interface and click on Excel. Click on Excel. But before you click on Excel, in case you want to save it, you want to print, there are other options. You want to set up the page, you want to hide, or perhaps you want to send your statement as an email attachment. You also have that option. You want to convert it to PDF, you want to preview, you want to design it so that it looks very presentable. You can also do that here. But for the essence of this lesson, you click on Excel, and this generates copies of your data to a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Click on Excel. You have a box asking you if you want to create a new Microsoft Excel workbook, or you want to add this workbook to an existing workbook. Here we'll click on create a new Microsoft Excel workbook. Raw data layout, PeachTree report layout. Do you want it as a PeachTree report layout or raw data layout? And we have other Excel options. They're asking us if you want to use your freeze panes, your show header in Excel worksheets. Other parts of Excel or how to navigate has been treated in our lesson for electronic spreadsheets. So for this, you click OK. So this is all for the introductory aspects using one of the dummy companies as supplied or given to us by the software. So we see during the session for the case study. Thank you. Hello, I'll be taking you through the rudiments of Sage 50, the practical session of Sage 50. In the course of the session, we'll be looking at creating an agency, creating chart of accounts, posting of transactions into the general journal, generating of various statements of accounts or financial statements as the case may be. You can download the case study from the link below. Now from the case study, AB & Co, an audit firm, has been using manual accounting system in preparing and presenting their financial statement for the past 2 years. However, effective from 2020, the company has decided to install and apply Sage 50 accounting in preparing and presenting financial reports. The following are some of the transactions that took place during the year: audit fees, consultancy fees received, electricity paid, salaries paid, office equipment bought. There are 2 notes to the accounts. 1, all the transactions were effected through Access Bank. The second note is that you have to use code 6001, 6002 and so on for revenue items, code 7001 and so on for expenditure items, and code 8001 for asset items. Now we go to the core of the session. The first thing is for us to create a new company or creating an agency. Now on the interface, you see that there's an option to open an existing company. You only choose this option if you've created an agency before now and you want to make 1 or 2 modifications. But for the essence of this lecture, you create a new company. So click on create a new company. Create a new company. This wizard will walk you through creating a new company. You'll be asked about your company name and address, business type, accounting method, cash or accrual, accounting periods, fiscal year. Click on next. You have to choose a PeachTree product, and the product you are choosing is PeachTree Premium Accounting 2010. Or if you have your Sage 50 installed, you see Sage 50. Click next. The next thing is to impute your company information. From our case study, the name of the company is AB & Co. So impute AB & Co. The other information that you have to fill, you can leave them and come back to fill them later in the course of the practice. And you can note that you can edit this information after your company is created. So in case you make a mistake in the process of imputing the name of the company or the address, you can always edit the information. Click next. Now select a method to create your company. For the essence of this lesson, we are using a sample business type that closely matches your company. So this helps to just edit or work along with codes and formats that have already been supplied by the software. Click on next. That to select a business type. Each business type has a recommended chart of accounts, which is the list of categories or accounts to which you assign transactions. Accountants sometimes refer to the chart of accounts as the general ledger. AB & Co. is an audit firm, so we select accounting agency. Accounting agency. Select accounting agency. And on the right side of your system, you see the list of accounts or chart of accounts as the case may be. You can also edit the account after your company is created to suit your codes, your transactions, to go by the activities of the agency. Click on next. Choose an accounting method. Now there are two major accounting methods, the accrual and the cash. But going by the lesson or IPSAS accrual or even by the IFRS, it is important to make use of the accrual method of accounting. This method helps income to be recorded when sales occur, regardless of when you actually receive the money. Expenses are recorded when you receive goods or services, even though you may not pay the bills for them until a later date. So between the accrual and the cash, you select accrual accounting method, then click next. However, before you click next, it's important to know that once you've chosen an accounting method, you cannot change after your company is created. So it's important that you decide which method you want to use before clicking next. But for the purpose of the case study we are treating, you click accrual, then click next. So the next thing is to choose a posting method. Posting is a process of recording a transaction on your company's books. Now there are two types of posting method, the real time and the batch. Now most companies choose the real time. Under the real time, each transaction is posted as it is entered and saved. While under the batch, transactions are saved, then posted as a group in a second step. This gives you a chance to review for accuracy before posting. Whichever case, you can always change your posting method. So choose real time, then click next. Now we are choosing an accounting period structure. Accounting periods are units of time that divide your fiscal year for reporting purposes. 12 monthly accounting periods per year, or accounting periods that do not match the calendar month. However, most companies choose 12 monthly accounting periods running from January to December. 12 months accounting periods to match the calendar months. Click next. Choose the first fiscal period. Choose the first period of your fiscal year. A fiscal year is your accounting year, defined by when you open and close your books. Most companies start their fiscal year in January. Companies with a more seasonal business may choose to start their year in another month. However, going by either the IPSAS or the IFRS standards, every company starts the accounting year from January of that year to December. So the first period of your fiscal year is January, so you choose January. And it's stated there too that most companies start in January. It is important to note that this cannot be changed after your company is created. So once you choose January, it cannot be changed after your company is created. So select January and click next. You are ready to create your company. After you click finish, your company data will be created. After that, you will see the setup guide, which will help you enter your first records into PeachTree. So click on finish. You can see that the data files are being created, and at the background, all the information we've imputed and the different postings, batching, accounting methods selected are being created at the background to help us post our transactions for the year. So what we've done so far is to create the agency or create the company, as the case may be. Company is being created, and all the necessary books that will be needed are being created as well at the background. So we are opening AB & Co company. Now you see some interfaces coming up. What's new? You can close this, or at a later time go through them. Okay. You close the setup guide as well. Okay. All right, so the next thing for us is to create our chart of accounts. Create chart of accounts. Now to create chart of accounts, you go to maintain. Go to maintain, click on charts of accounts. Charts of accounts. Now the first thing there is to impute our account ID. Remember from the case study, the first note tells us that all the transactions were effected through Access Bank accounts. The second note says use code 6001, 6002 for revenue items, code 7001, etc. for expenditure items, and code 8001 for asset types. Our first transaction that took place in the year 2020 is audit fees. Audit fees. Audit fees in the case of AB & Co., which is an audit firm, is a revenue item. That means the fees are being received. Now it's important before you post transactions or create chart of accounts to know the class of accounts that each transaction will be posted to. It's important to classify whether your transaction is an income item, an expenditure item, or assets or liability, as the case may be. So for audit fees, it's an income, so we use code 6001. Code 6001. Okay. The next is the description. The description of that transaction is audit fees. You type audit fees. Audit fees. The next thing is to select the account type. Like I mentioned earlier, it's important to classify the transaction correctly. If you select cash, cash is an asset item. Cash is an asset item, but we've correctly classified our audit fees as an income item. So you click on the drop-down menu and select income. 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 As it is, we've created our code for audit fees, which is 6001. Once you are done, click on Save and New. Save and New for us to post our next transaction. Now the next item there is consultancy fees received. Consultancy fees received. It's important to know also that consultancy fees received is an income. So our account ID now will be 6002. Please note that two items cannot have the same code. So every item must have its own unique code. Every item must have its own unique code. So having used 6001 for audit fees, now we use 6002 for consultancy items. Click OK. Description: consultancy fees. Consultancy fees. Also, our consultancy fee is an income item. So you change your account type from cash, you select income. The essence of choosing the correct account type is because as we are posting all these transactions, at the background, our financial statements, our reports are being generated automatically. So if we post any transaction to the wrong account or account type, by the time you are generating your reports or financial statements, your account may not balance, or you see different accounts in contradictory account types or legs of accounts. So we've selected income. Click Save and New since we have more postings to do. Now the next item is electricity paid. Electricity paid. Electricity paid is an expenditure. Money is going out, is an expenditure. So we use code 7001. So account ID for electricity will be 7001. Click OK. Description: electricity. Account type will be expenses. Expenses. then click on Save and New. Save and New. The next item is salaries paid. Salaries paid. It's also an expense item, so we use code 7002. 7002. Click OK. Description: salaries. Account type is an expense item, so we change it from cash to expenses. We click on Save and New. Save and New. The next item is office equipment bought. Office equipment bought. Now note, before we ask the office equipment, was it bought or sold, the first thing to notice is an office equipment, and an office equipment is an asset item. An asset item, so meaning that the code we'll be using to generate the account ID will start with 8. So asset item, for the code for our office equipment to be 8001. Click OK. Description: office equipment. Office equipment, you change account type to fixed asset. Office equipment is a fixed asset, so you change to fixed assets. Fixed assets. Now we still click on Save and New, because note 1 says that all the transactions were effected through Access Bank accounts. So it is important for us to generate a code for our bank. It's important to generate a code for bank. For bank, we'll use code 8002 because our bank account is also part of assets, even though it's a current asset, but use 8002 since we've been told that we'll use codes starting with 8 for all our asset items. So we use 8002 for our bank account. So click on OK. Description: Access Bank. Alright, account type. For this, our bank account falls either under cash or bank, but on this platform we do not have bank, so we can select cash. Cash. It is the money that is generated for the company or money paid out for all the expenses that we pay from cash or bank. So since we do not have bank here, you select cash. You select cash. Select cash. Then you save. Click on Save. If we add other transactions that were to generate codes for, you'd have selected Save and New. But since this is the last item, you click Save, then you close. You click Save, then you close. So far we've created the agency, you've created our chart of accounts. So the next thing for us is to post the transactions for 2020 using the general journal. How do we get our general journal? You go to Task, click on Tasks. Now you see other items there that you can make use of as explained in the general overview. So you see, click on Tasks, bring your cursor down to General Journal Entry. Select General Journal Entry. Okay. On this interface, you see the date the transactions took place. And the next thing is to post our transactions. So the first transaction there is audit fees. Now for every transaction, you have 2 legs of the account where you do your postings. So the first one is audit fees. For audit fees, the company is receiving cash or is receiving money, as the case may be. So for this, you debit cash and credit audit fees. You debit cash and credit audit fees. Remember, part of our basic accounting principles is that you debit with the receiver and you credit the giver. So for audit fees, money is coming in, so you debit your cash or bank account. Now, earlier on we created codes under the chart of account for all our items. So since we are debiting cash, you impute code 8002, which is the code for our bank account. Description, audit fees. How much? 5 million naira. So you impute that amount on the debit side and go to the next line to impute the corresponding credit entry. Now, corresponding credit entry will be audit fees, and our code for audit fees is 6001. 6001. Then on the credit side, 5 million. 5 million. After that, you press enter. For the sake of this case study, it's assumed that all the transactions took place on the same date. But subsequently, during your practice time, if you want dealing with or using other case studies, you can change your date. But for the purpose of this lesson, we post all during the same date. So the next item is consultancy fees received. Consultancy fees received. Breaking it down, we also see that money is coming in, we are receiving cash. So you debit bank or cash as the case may be, and we still use our code 8002. Meaning that the money is coming into our Access bank account. Description, consultancy fees. Consultancy fees. And how much? That is 1.5 million naira. That will be on the debit side. Now the corresponding credit entry will be consultancy fees, and our code for consultancy fees is 6002. Now you need to be careful and note that it's important to post to the correct book, to post to the correct book of account, so that at the end of the day you don't have your account all muddled up. The Sage 50 software is user friendly, so you can always easily navigate your way through the interface. So you credit the consultancy fees with 1.5 million and press enter. The next item or the next transaction is electricity paid. Electricity paid, meaning that cash is going out, or we are paying money out of the bank. So we debit electricity, we credit cash. We debit electricity, we credit cash. So our code for electricity is 7001. 7001. Then description will be electricity paid. Electricity paid. How much? 500,000. 500,000. Our corresponding credit entry will be our Access bank account, which has code 8002. Code 8002, because we've been told that all the transactions were effected through the bank. Our description will be the same, 500,000. Our next item is office equipment bought. Office equipment bought, meaning at the point of purchasing the office equipment, we are paying out cash. We are paying out cash. That means money is going out of our Access bank account and we are receiving the office equipment. So we'll debit office equipment, and our code for office equipment is 8001. 8001. Office equipment bought. Office equipment bought. How much is that? 3 million. Our corresponding credit entry will be 8002, which is our bank account, with the same description, 3 million. So far we've posted our transactions that happened during the year using our general journal. And as you can see that the total on the debit side is the same as the total on the credit side, we're leaving us with an out of balance of 0. It is important that the amount on the debit side must be the same as the amount on the credit side for us to be able to save the general journal entry. So if in the course of posting your transactions, you make a mistake of imputing 300,000 instead of 3 million, your totals on the debit and the credit side will not be the same, and you won't be able to save. But with the two sides having the same amount and our out of balance being 0, you save your general journal entry. Okay, so far we've created the agency, which is our company. We've created our chart of accounts, and we've posted some of the transactions for 2020. Now the next thing is to generate our income statement, or any part of, any statement at all. And it's important to know that as we were posting all the transactions earlier on, at the background, the software was generating, preparing our financial statements. So to generate any financial statement at all, be it your income statement, your cash flow, your balance sheet, you go to Reports and Forms. Reports and Forms. Click on Reports and Forms. Select Financial Statements. Select Financial Statements. Now you see a breakdown of all financial statements you will never ever need as an accountant. You have your balance sheet compared with budget, your cash flow, your GL account summary, your income statement for 12 years, income statement for 12 period, income statement for 2 years, your income statement for the period, income statement compared with your budget, year to date, income statement compared with your earnings, retained earnings, or statement changes. So whichever one it is that you want to generate, you want to view, you click on it. But for the essence of this case study, let's click on income statements. This will show us our income statement for the current period and year to date. Click on income statements. Now it will bring up an option to select your time frame. Are you calling up the income statement, the range of the dates, the current period or current 3 periods? We'll select for the current period, which will show us from the beginning of the month of March to the end, and it will bring up all the transactions we've posted during the period. Click on OK. Alright, so we have our income statement that's been generated here. We have our income statement that's been generated. So you can view your income statement, but as it is, you cannot do any form of modification here. This is for you to generate your income statement and view. We've generated our income statement. The next is to view our balance sheet. Generate your balance sheet. You double click. Also for the current period, you click OK. We have our balance sheet. And you can see that the items or the transactions we posted earlier, our bank, our office equipment, are correctly posted in the balance sheet. So if earlier you had made mistake of posting an income statement as cash or as an asset, you see it showing in your balance sheet. So that's why I mentioned earlier that it is important that your account type must be carefully selected, so that while generating your financial statements, all the transactions would have been posted into the correct legs of accounts. Alright, so we viewed. If you want to save, you can save. But for this lesson, we are not saving. You close this statement. Now, next thing is for us to export the income statement to Excel. Now, the beauty of Sage 50 is that any of your statements can be imported or exported to Excel. In case you want to view on Excel sheets, or you want to make 1 or 2 corrections, you can view, or you want to send it via email using the Microsoft Excel, you can convert your financial statements from Sage 50 to Excel. So we go back to income statement, click on current period. Now you come to the top part of the interface and click on Excel. Click on Excel. But before you click on Excel, in case you want to save it, you want to print, there are other options. You want to set up the page, you want to hide, or perhaps you want to send your statement as an email attachment. You also have that option. You want to convert it to PDF, you want to preview, you want to design it so that it looks very presentable you can also do that here. But for the essence of this lesson, you click on Excel, and this generates copies of your data to a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Click on Excel. You have a box asking you if you want to create a new Microsoft Excel workbook, or you want to add this workbook to an existing workbook. Here we'll click on create a new Microsoft Excel workbook. Raw data layout, PeachTree report layout. Do you want it as a PeachTree report layout or raw data layout? And we have other Excel options. They're asking us if you want to use your freeze panes, your show header in Excel worksheets. Other parts of Excel or how to navigate has been treated in our lesson for electronic spreadsheets. So for this, you click OK. You can see the system is generating, is converting our income statement from Sage 50 to Excel. So far, we've been able to create our company, create chart of accounts, post some of the transactions for 2020 using the general journal, generate the income statement, the balance sheets, and you can also make use of your Sage 50 to generate any financial statement at all. So like I said earlier, the Sage 50 is user-friendly and you can always navigate your way through the software. Thank you for your prompt attention.